All right, Winston, talk to me about your bands. You're in Bankroll.
Yeah.
You're in WERM.
Yeah.
Are you in any other bands?
No, just those two.
Okay. How? Actually, I'm going to go back more to the beginning. I remember you going to shows with your dad,
Yeah.
but I always wondered at those shows: is he enjoying himself? Is he having a good time? Did you enjoy yourself at those early shows? Like,
At the early ones, I really I don't know. I didn't really know the culture or what was going on. So I, I don't really remember having that great of a time, but I thought it was cool. Thought it was interesting, just like seeing all these people kind of go nuts over these bands. But at the time, I didn't really enjoy the music. I didn't really get like the shows and stuff. So I was just kind of along for the ride. So didn't really get it at the time.
was was there a moment at a show, or was there a moment listening to the music when you got it? Like, did you remember that?
I remember listening to Drain for the first time and well seeing them for the first time and just like really like getting it and like feeling like this is a like good culture. Like this is something that you want to be a part of. Like just seeing Drain, seeing like Sammy on stage, just up there, has an awesome voice, and everyone is just singing along. Like everybody's up front yelling the lyrics. Like even me, like having listened to him for months and like just finally seeing him live and just being able to go up there and like just yell the lyrics like inches from his face and like he puts the microphone in your mouth and like you just like it's just great. Like you just feel the energy there.
It sounds also like the immediacy of hardcore, like you said, being that close, no barriers. Did that have a lot to do with it too?
Yeah, because it wasn't like you're looking on a 10-foot high stage, just kind of standing around, twiddling your thumbs, like kind of watching someone perform. You were actively in the performance and like you could like feel like everything going on.
So then, how does this lead to you playing music, and what did you begin playing?
Um, I started just like learning bass. My dad was teaching me, and
Why the bass? Why not the guitar? Why not drums, keyboards? Why the bass?
I started off with guitar, but I never really got that far into it. And then I think we had a bass line around, and I picked it up, and I was just kind of plucking at it, and just kind of thought it was easier than guitar. But like I don't know. I just kind of liked it, and it was easy, and it was easy to move my hands around, easy to just use. And my dad just started teaching me songs, and I got better, and then started learning different styles and stuff. So I started off, of course, in Euthanized, playing just that kind of old hardcore style. And then in school, I joined the jazz band, and so started learning jazz and like Latin music. And then I started playing the upright bass and learned classical. And so just like this mesh of styles just helped me evolve and like play more and write more. And especially with jazz, I think helped me evolve as a musician because it wasn't just reading notes off of a page, memorizing riffs. It was actively like writing something as you're playing. So I think that really helped me like understand music.
Was there, in getting into jazz, or like joining the jazz band at school, did you do that because maybe you found playing a bass for hardcore, I don't want to say limiting, because there can be all different styles within that, but what was your reasoning for that?
It just seemed like the best way to learn. Like just kind of throwing myself into something that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but something that I knew was going to be challenging but would help me evolve. Because you listen to these jazz basses and they're just like going up the fretboard going crazy. Like someone like Thundercat or Victor Wooten, they're just like amazing. And like it's all like these jazz chords and like just these scales and stuff. And I knew it would help me because it's hardcore. It's I don't like you said, I don't want to say limiting, but there's only so much like that you learn playing hardcore and listening to hardcore. But jazz, it's like constantly evolving. Well, hardcore is too, but jazz is just, it's evolved for a longer period of time. And so it's further along, so you can, there's more to pick and choose from, like what you want to learn.
And a lot of bass players, like just hardcore bass players, let's go with like the guy that's like the pinnacle, like for a lot of people, Chuck Dukowski.
Yeah.
He's a jazz bassist.
Yeah.
So I'm just like that. And so much of Black Flag, which I mean, we obviously, people always knew, but I think as you get more into their story and you look at them now, that was jazz. And they
Yeah.
really sort of evolved even more into that as they went on.
There's a song off of Family Man. I can't remember what it was, but it's like what, I don't remember what it's called, but it starts off with just a bass line that and like just hearing that, it was like, it wasn't just hardcore, it wasn't just punk anymore, it was just this fusion of music. And like I think that's what really like got me into thinking like jazz can really help me, because it's like listening to that bass line, it doesn't sound like hardcore at all, but then the guitar comes in and it's all distorted, and it's like, it's just a great fusion. And I think that's when I realized like I needed to learn jazz to really go further.
Was that learning curve when you got into the jazz band at school? What was that learning curve like? Like, did you have any moments in that where you were like, I'm done, like I want to stop? Or...
Yeah, Giant Steps by Miles Davis. That's like the song that was like, I don't know if I can do this, because it's just like, just seems like nonsense, because he was like super high writing it, and so like it's just like a bunch of different chords just like jumping at you. But then once you like get it under your fingers and you play it, it's like amazing. But looking at it at first, it just seems impossible because it's so fast and it's just everywhere. But once you like really look into it and you really understand it, which it's hard to do, but once you're there, it helps, and like you're just into it.
Would you like to go further with music? And by further, I mean, like, I know you probably always want to play music, but would you like to, in some way, figure out how to make music a career in some way, whether it's hardcore, jazz, teaching music, whatever?
That's kind of hard to say, because I know how hard it can be to get shows and like stay relevant for a long period of time. So I wouldn't say it's my main plan to do that, and it's because it's just too risky. But I'd say I'm just gonna keep music to a hobby and like playing shows whenever I can, but not really prioritizing it over much else. Well, prioritizing over a lot of things, but not like a career path.